my name is Kelly Bluen. I am a certified Zentangle teacher. Welcome to 15 Minutes of Zen. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a tangle called Ravel. We're using the Zentangle method of drawing, which means things are broken down into one line or one curve at a time. Today I'm using a Micron PN plastic nib pen, a Zentangle brand graphite pencil for shading, and a tortillon for blending. I'm also using a 2" by 2" Zentangle brand tile called the Bijou. These supplies are available on zentangle.com. Okay, I'm going to flip my tile over, and I'm going to start with my pencil, and I'm going to put a little dot just inside each corner of my tile. Then I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to connect those dots, creating a little frame for my picture. Okay, go ahead and pick up your pen. And to make Ravel, we start with a line that's about a ½ inch long. If I'm comparing it to my pen, it's about that length right there. And then I make this curve shape going from point to point, and I repeat that 3 times. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And that's Ravel. There's many variations of this. You can do it with a curved line in the middle and aura that way. You can do these longer, shorter, whatever you'd like. But this is your basic Ravel shape. So now I'm just going to go off. I'm going to go off the point, I guess, and start aura-ing that one with these little bumps. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, I'm going to go and put another one off of this point that way. Again, they don't have to go off of the points. They can go anywhere you want. But this just helps me not have to make a big decision. As you can see, that one's kind of tucking behind that one. All right, I'm going to put one over here. I like to think of Zentangle as just filling space. We're not trying to create anything specific. We're just putting pen to paper and filling in these empty spaces. Now this one, I'm going to imagine that it actually goes a little bit beyond. So I'm just making mine come out to the edge like this before it would drop down, if we could see the other end of that. Okay. I put one this way. And this repeated motion is very calming. Get that muscle memory going. Every single time I do Ravel, it turns out differently. Yours probably looks different than mine. And I'll show you another thing that you can do to sort of enhance this. So this one I'm going to make come off of this point, and it's going to end up just kind of tucking in behind this one. And when I do it, if I want, I can lift my pen a tiny bit. And it just gives that illusion of a little bit of a a shine. I probably should have done it in the middle, but I forgot. Make one come out here. See how they're different sizes. Some are wider than other ones. Okay, let's see. I think I'm going to put one this way. And again, just imagining it going off that edge. And what that would look like. Remember to loosen the grip on your pen. I have a few more spaces that are kind of big and empty, so let's put one right here. And then I just have one more space I want to put something in, so I'm going to do one this way. Okay. I'm going to stop right there, and I'm going to take my pen and I'm going to ink in that border that I made. And at this point you have several options. One is you can fill the background with more Ravel. You can sneak them in there and put more of those shapes in. You can ink in the whole background. You could do a new pattern in the background. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to add these orbs in my white spaces. So I'm going to add an orb there and there. And the nice thing about working on a little tile and not inside a sketchbook is that I can turn this so easily as I go. If you want to add more than one orb in a section, go ahead. Put a little one in there. And I think that's good. Then I'm going to take my ink and I'm just going to fill in all of that extra space. All of that space around those orbs and behind Ravel. It gives it such dimension. I love that look. When I started doing Zentangle, I did not enjoy this part. First of all, I felt like I was using up my ink. I was worried I was going to run out of ink, which I don't run out of ink. These Micron pens last forever. But also, I feel like I was rushing to get my tiles done and see my finished project. And I wasn't taking the time to just enjoy coloring it in carefully and slowly. Now it's one of my favorite things to do on tiles. This would be fun to do with a different color ink in the background. I tend to usually work just in the black, but it could be really pretty. As I'm coloring these in, I'm remembering to breathe. Hold my pen lighter. Here we go. You can also take your pen at this point and fix the orbs. If yours looks kind of oval, you can use your pen to change it as you're filling in that background. I've got one more section to fill. And then when I'm done, I'm going to add a little reflection in each of these circles. Just a little detail to kind of round them out. So cute. Okay, now I pick up my pencil to do some shading. And I'm not going to do a lot of shading. It's already kind of a dark tile, so I'm just going to put a little bit of graphite in each of these corners of Ravel. So just a little bit. Make sure you do both ends. Right down into that pointy part. And I just realized I forgot a little spot over here I wanted to ink in. There we go. After I have some graphite in those places, I'm going to look at where a shape might go over another one. So this one goes over this one. So I'm just going to put a little shadow on the outside of that. This one and this one go over this one. So I'm going to put a little shadow. This one peeks out over a little bit. This one peeks out over here, overlapping there. Create those little shadows where things overlap. And then lastly, because I have this border and I did not make my tangles go all the way to the outside, I'm going to put a little bit of shading on the inside of the frame where those shapes tuck under or behind that frame. Just giving a little bit of shadow right there. And I pick up my tortillon or whatever blending tool you have, and I'm going to start with the inside of these ravels. And I'm just pushing very gently towards the center, leaving the white area in the middle. So that looks like it's the closest towards the light source. Gently, carefully spreading that out. You want a soft transition. Now this one where I lifted my pen, I wish I had lifted it in the middle also, but it has like an automatic reflection on there. So smooth transition from darker in the corners to lighter as it moves out. And after I do that, I'm going to go to those overlapping areas and just soften those, if I can find them. And then those edges by the frame, I'm just smoothing those out. I tend to do a lot of graphite on these little pieces and it gets a little bit dark, but that's okay. All right, there we go. It's so cute. So as always, initial your work. I'm going to turn mine because I've got a bigger spot here. Initial your work. On the back, date your work and write a little journal entry about something going on in your life, something in your heart, something you're doing today. It's fun to look back at those. All right, there's Ravel. Thank you so much for joining. I'm going to show you one little thing. If you have a white gel pen, you can go back and add a little reflection, like right here where I forgot to lift my pen. You can add, just by putting that line in, it just gives it a little bit of a dimension. Not necessary, but a fun way to use your gel pens. That's all. Thanks so much. Enjoy.